It's Richard Pimm, and I want to tell you the basis from which you can become a better job seeker. If you understand this concept, you have the opportunity to self-evaluate, find out which hurdles you are tripping up at and which ones you're just losing a bit of momentum at in the pursuit of becoming a vastly improved job seeker, which has what kind of effect on your life? Massive. Do you really want me to remind you about how miserable it is looking for a job, the laborious process? And that's if things are going well for you. If it's going badly for you, you've been looking for too long and you have all the anxiety and stress and emotional baggage that comes with being out of work for too long. So let's avoid that. Let's become an awesome job seeker. Now, it goes deep. There's a lot of information if you want my level of expertise, but let me give you this for free because this can transform everything for you. Even if you just go away and never speak to me again or watch anything I've done, this will help you to figure out where you might be going wrong, where certainly you could be doing it better. Let's consider the job seeking as the hurdles race. Okay? Job seeking is like running the hurdles. It is a ruthless contest. There's one winner and many losers. You don't get the luxury of a silver or bronze medal. You just get the offer or you don't. Okay? And so you must be better than the competition. So don't have an attitude of, my CV is pretty good, I'm half decent at interviews. Let's just wait for a race where there's not much competition. Come on, in this day and age, you have to compete hard. Let me show you how to base all of your learning, rethink all of your thinking as it pertains to job seeking and improving as a job seeker. So I mentioned the hurdles. Let's get straight into it here. Job seeking is the hurdles. Because it is that contest, yes, but there's three sections to this race. Let's think of it as, start, middle and end. Let's think of it as coming out the blocks, taking the first couple of hurdles, and then, you get into the middle part of the race there. You've got to jump those hurdles efficiently. And then, of course, you have to complete the last couple and then that sprint and then sort of dip to the line, okay? Lots of hurdles here. But let's talk about these three steps. Now, I've labelled them get noticed, get qualified, get interviewed, as you can see. But you could also think of that as marketing, selling, closing the deal. Because that's what you have to do as a job seeker. It doesn't matter if your personality or skill set does not lend itself to that. I'm afraid that's what you must do because that is how the game is played. That is how the race is run. Marketing, get noticed. You have a few seconds of your audience's attention. If they can find you, you're a needle in a haystack on databases online. You're a needle in a haystack in LinkedIn, okay? It's hard for them to find you. So we have to play the game so they can more likely find you, okay? Very specific things I can do to help you with that. But you must recognize that you only have a few seconds of your audience's attention, even if they find you. That's a big if. But then you come up on a LinkedIn search or something like that, and it's like, okay, what's this guy? He's overqualified, lives too far away. That one's no good, this one's no good. A few seconds. I'm not guessing this stuff. I was a recruiter for a lot of years. Over the last 25, 13 in total, I think it was, roughly. Okay? Marketing. You've got seconds of your audience's attention. Profound implications on what, therefore, you must say and do to maximise the opportunity that they will think of you as a prospective candidate. The key to getting to step 2. Now they think, yes, this is the kind of prospective candidate subject to further qualification that I want to be speaking to. But let's first read about them online. I pause for dramatic effect. Today, these days, compared to when I started recruitment in the mid-90s, you must differentiate yourself online before expecting dialogue, before expecting them to talk to you. It doesn't matter how good you are at your job, how good you were, how many successes you had. You must show up for this race. You must perform every single time. Okay, you must be willing to do that. Give your best performance. You don't own that victory until you have delivered better than everyone else. Okay, so yes, you're a prospective candidate. The buyer's thinking, let me read their CV. Let me ask for their CV. Let me click on the link to their CV. They have the inclination because they've given themselves the time, minutes now, time enough to qualify your suitability for that role online. So you've got to master this art of communication in the written word with only minutes of their attention, as opposed to the written word with seconds of their attention. What do you write? What do you have the opportunity to say now that you didn't at step 1? Where do you put that information? How do you promote it? Okay, how do you maximize the effect of it? If you do that well, they think this person is worthy of more of my time, hours to interview. Can you now see you cannot avoid or deny this 3 steps to job seeking? It is there because of time. Time dictates this process. Professionals will not waste their time by randomly interviewing random people. No, they want to create a shortlist from a long list if they can find you in the first place. See what I mean? Okay, now that might sound obvious to you, but what can we use that information to do? We can consider the component parts of each step. Here are 9 of them. There are many more, but here are 9. And so there's things we can do in terms of how to present that initial piece of information, because they're only reading it for a few seconds. What can you say to maximize the likelihood that they will deem you worthy of step 2, a prospective candidate, not just a random job seeker? What kind of information? What is front and center of your message? Do you have that focused message, or are you like the average people who just say, I'm looking for my next exciting opportunity, and a whole bunch of other opinionated, fluffy, cliche nonsense? Sorry to be harsh if you've written the next exciting opportunity. I know a lot of people do. It's a cliche, and it's demonstrating that you don't have original ability or enhanced ability to communicate. You don't know what to say, so you're saying what everyone else says. If you do what everyone else does, you are average. Okay? We need to get you above average. We need to get you exceptional. All right, so there's hurdles here. LinkedIn optimization, speculative approaches. These are very specialist things I do, and they are core to tapping the hidden job market. Pause for effect again. The hidden, unadvertised job market is real, it's big, it is the key to advanced level job seeking. It is proactive behavior that you must engage in if you take job seeking and your career seriously. It is not easy to do properly. If it was, everyone would do it, right? Very specialist, core to what I do. It's the key to this whole thing, all right? You're going to have to ask me about that, okay? Too much to talk about here. We just want to stay with the concept, okay? So step 2 then, more hurdles here, communication hurdles. Every one of these hurdles requires different things of you, communication-wise, written words, spoken, and what kind of, how much time do you have of the audience's attention? What other considerations are there? Well, down here, it's just the written word in a few seconds, but up here, like the end, how about a face-to-face interview? Well, now we've got smell and touch. You don't communicate that anywhere here, and you might think, so what? What's that got to do with this whole thing? I can tell you as a hiring manager, I nearly turned a guy down for a job once because he smelt like an ashtray, and I told him so at interview. I said, I don't appreciate you making my office smell like this. Have the self-respect to turn up in a jacket that doesn't stink like an ashtray. Okay? Now, this whole thing's not about smell and touch. What I'm trying to convey here is that you communicate different things. You must communicate in a certain way at every part of this process of job seeking. You must master how to. Where do you put the information? What do you say? What do you know about your audience? What effect is that likely to have? Can you anticipate their questions? Where should you put that information to maximize? And so on. All right, they're all communication hurdles. You might be good at some of them. You're unlikely to be good at all of them. If you are, stop watching this video now because you've got it sussed. Good for you, all right? But I've done 700 free consultations in the last 7 years, and I assure you that I've not come across one person who was good at all of these hurdles. I've made it my business from 13 years recruitment experience and 7 years of doing PimmCo to master this coherent front to back, start to finish process of job seeking, help you understand it from the buyer's perspective. You're the seller of your talent, they are buying your talent, you're trying to influence them, okay? And so how do you understand that process such that you can play the game better? Give them what they want, the answers to their questions, preferably in the right order, in the right places. Can you get a sense now of how much detail there is to be mastered here if you are willing to do the hard work of learning it, implementing it, executing on it, and getting the results ultimately that will come to you if you master this better than other people? We can't avoid the fact that this is a competition, and so you need competitive advantage.